Hello, everyone. Want to give you an update on the staircase strategy. And those of you who have gone through my Trading Today YouTube channel, you will see that there are several videos explaining how I select stocks, how to select stocks for trading. Please use that method and trade only stocks that are trending in that way. Those of you who are in our Signal WhatsApp Signal group, not WhatsApp group, it's a Signal group, Trading Today Signal group. You have a file where I've given the link on how to do that. All right. So here is some stocks that I'm looking at right now, wanting to enter as soon as there is an opportunity, and this is where we are right now. So here is a list of stocks that I'm looking to enter. Okay, so this is how you can evaluate this. So this company is Masdoc. This is what I'm looking at right now. Here's the daily chart, first of all, and I have here are basic things you'll need: a daily chart, and you'll need a 200-period moving average right here, the 20-period moving average, and you want the 20-period moving average above the 200-period moving average and moving up in a very good movement here like this. Okay, but now I noticed that for some time the price had begun to go down quite a bit. It got to this level here and the price was rejected, and it's been trending down and downward like this. Okay, so what I did was I drew a line here, and the way you do that, you can go to this tool here, trend line tool. So I selected that trend line tool and I drew a line like this, something like that. Okay, so basically that's what I did, and then you can move that line around. Here it is. So I made that line, and you could move the line around. So initially when I drew that line, I realized that this line was touching in about three areas, right? One, two, three, four areas like that. Four areas already, four places that the line was touched, this trend line was touched. Okay, we want at least three touches on the trend line. Okay, and so that means that the price is going down along this line, and it may keep going down. But then right here, it broke out of that trend line, but then it's moving down again. So there's something in the market that's pushing it down. So what I'm doing is if the movement doesn't continue up, I'm going to wait until this strong area of resistance is crossed right here. Okay, and I will enter only after it crosses that resistance, because I don't know how long it's going to go sideways. It may come up a little bit, but then it's going to go sideways, and I don't want to take the chance of having my funds tied up in that one stock. Okay, here's another one where I'm looking for a breakout from this area of resistance, which is the all-time high. Remember, the all-time high is a very strong resistance. So the resistance is not a particular price point, but it's an area of resistance. So that's why it came up here, got rejected, came up again, got rejected, came up again, got rejected. Okay. Now I realized that at this point right here, you see this? Okay, it looks like the price had found support. In other words, it doesn't go down further in this area once, twice, three times. Okay, so now this is something else that you can look at as a possibility. Like, I want to see if this continues to move up. If it does move up, I may be able to get about 15 to 18%. Okay, so basically, this is often called swing trading. And here it is. Look at that. Here, swinging up and down, up and down, up and down, like this. That's the basic idea. All right. So this is a place where if the price begins to move up, or when the price begins to move up, I would enter, and I would look to gain this much of a profit out of this CDSL. Okay. And then, of course, the fact that the 20 is above the 200, it's a good indicator that it is trending. But then there are times when it will go down. So here's another one. I'm waiting for this all-time high to be crossed, right? That would be a good strong move. But also this 200 is a very strong resistance. Now, if I get a bounce off of this 200, okay, if I get a bounce off of this 200, all right, that also would be a possible entry for me. All right, and then I would take this tool here, which calculates the price range, right here on the left, by the way. See, price range. You take that tool, and then you can measure. So let's say that this on Monday, Tuesday, the next couple of days, it begins to reverse and move up, bouncing off of the 200, right? At that point, I would enter, and then right here, even to this resistance, that's about 15%, right? To the all-time high, that's about 30%, 35%. So I don't know how long it will take to get to this 17, 15 to 18%. I don't know, but what I often do is I wait until the end of the month, and then I can exit right there. Or sometimes some people would wait until you get to that point where there is this strong resistance and exit. Maybe not your whole position, maybe 3/4 of it right there. Look at that. Okay, and then you can hold on to the rest and see if it moves up. You catch the next move up. Okay, that's FACT. Let's look at RVNL. All right, we're talking about staircase strategy, which is a swing trading strategy. The last couple of months has been very, very negative movement in the markets, and profits have been low, but that's fine. Still, that doesn't mean I'm staying out of the market. I'm not going to be afraid. I'm going to look at the charts. Remember, please try not to look at numbers. Try not to look at red and green colors. Look at the charts. The 20 is still above the 200. Okay. Now, if the 20 and the price drops below the 200 and continues going down, then I won't be trading this. I'll keep watching it, but I won't be trading this. But here's what I'm looking for right here. See the 200? And I'm looking for this to uh, bounce off of the 200, okay? And then I would take this price range tool, and then I would see how much I can get to the next area of resistance. Look at that, 38%. Okay. Now, will it take a month or two? I don't know what it will take, but that's quite a move. Okay. And this is on the daily chart, by the way. Look at that. And all the way to the all-time high, that's about 56%. Okay. So this is something that you cannot simply ignore. But look right here. So see this move right there? You cannot expect that move all the time. But this was an area of resistance. See that? Several times it came to that area and the price was rejected. Okay. But once it did break out, look what happened. Okay. See, to that point, it was 30%, and it actually went all the way to about 50% profit right there. Look at that. Right there in the center, 50%. Okay. So will I get that all the time? No, no, no. I'm not expecting that all the time. But here it is. Okay. If it bounces off the 200, remember the 200 is a very strong area of resistance. Okay. And also this area of resistance, okay, right there. So these two things come together, and I would be very interested in this trade right here. I'm watching it carefully. I have some funds available that I want to get in, that I want to invest, and I'm watching this carefully. Now, something else I want to share with you. Let me put a horizontal line here. Okay, this tool will give you this horizontal line right here. I'm going to put this horizontal line, and I'm going to share with you something about support and resistance. I often use this word here on my SR on my charts right there. Some of you have seen this and asked me, what is this SR? Okay, this is support and resistance. You see this resistance right here? All right. This is like the ceiling in your room. Okay, if you put a ladder there, try to go through the ceiling, you can't. It's a resistance. But if you take the staircase, go upstairs, that same ceiling, the top of that ceiling is your floor. That same ceiling, which was a resistance, when you take the stairs and go upstairs, that same ceiling, which was a resistance, then becomes a support for you when you step on that floor upstairs, you're not going to fall down because it's a support. So once this resistance is crossed, okay, then this area of resistance right now, okay, is being tested, and possibly it becomes a support. All right. And another factor is this 200 that I shared with you. And the 200 is a strong area of resistance, but it's also an area of support. Okay. So both of these concepts converge together, and this is a high probability trade for me once it reverses. I won't enter like right away, but once it reverses. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take RVNL and drag it to the top because I'm really interested in that one. Okay. All right. Let's go to another one, FACT. I think I shared this one already with you, right? Same concept right there. 200, okay? Bouncing off the 200 is what I'm expecting. Now, but it has gone below. But remember, it's not this particular price point, it's an area. So let's see what happens on Monday. Will the price go up or will it go down? If it goes down, I'm not going to touch it. I'll just leave it. I'll keep watching it. But if the price moves up from here, then I would say, well, this is a bounce off of the 200. Okay, we're talking about support and resistance right here. CAMS, CAMS. This one also, if you watch carefully, the all-time high, this area, okay, has been rejected several times. It has come down. Okay, now what I'm looking for here, I'm going to draw a horizontal line right here. Okay, and what I'm noticing is that here is a resistance. Okay, it broke the resistance and came down, and it did not respect it. It came down again. But this area, this line, this area seems quite suspicious. Something has been happening for a while right here. You notice this? Okay, so therefore, if this candle, this red candle, which was Friday, if that reverses and on Monday, Tuesday, if this begins to move up from there, okay, then I may be interested in entering. And then what can I expect? Well, let's see. To the all-time high, that's about 12 to 13%, the all-time high. Look at that. Okay. So some of you may want to wait until that point to sell, and some of you may want to sell at the end of the month. So what I'm doing is at the end of the month, I want to sell about 3/4 of my holdings that I put into it, and then watch and see if it continues to move up again without being resisted by the all-time high. Okay, so I would take out 3/4 of my shares. I would sell it, and the rest I would hold on to it. A small position, only 25%, and then I will see if it gets pushed down again or if it continues up. If it continues up, fine. I'll just leave it, let it take as much as it can, and then I'll take advantage of that. BEL. Okay. Okay, let me move CAMS also to the top because that seems quite interesting to me. BEL is something else that I want to share with you is that, see, the price is going up very nicely upward. It went to this all-time high, and the price got rejected, went up, got rejected, went up, got rejected. And at this point, I drew a trend line. See this trend line right here? Okay. This trend line seems to have more than 3 touches. 1, all right, 2, and then this area again, this 220 period moving average is being respected right here as a resistance, and the trend line right there. See? So what am I looking for? Well, 2 things. First of all, is it bouncing off the 200? Okay, and it looks like this candle right there. It's actually called like a long hammer candle, which is a very positive trend indicator. All right, but I'm not going to enter only because of that. I'm also going to take the concept that first of all it's bouncing off the 200. Second, the candle looks like a very bullish hammer candle, which is good. Now, if you're wondering what is a hammer, well, I have a video on trading today. You can look it up, and it's on chart patterns, not chart patterns. Sorry, it's on candlestick patterns. Okay, so it's called candlestick patterns. You can look at that, and you can learn about different types of candlesticks and what they indicate. Now, this is bullish. Does that mean 100% that it's going to move up from there? No. That means that there's a, I would say maybe 70 to 80% chance that it will move up. But there's a 20 to 30% chance it will go down, right? Okay, now it's bouncing off the 200 as well. Okay, is that a positive sign? Yes. Okay, that shows that it's a high probability trade right here with 20 to 70 to 80% chance that it's going to move up. I'm looking for one more reason to enter. That is right here, this trend line. Look at that trend line. Okay, it could go up, get rejected again. So I'm going to wait until this trend line is crossed. Once the trend line is crossed, all right, then I would enter. Why? Because first, the 200 was it bounced off the 200, which is positive for me, and it's showing a good movement with this candle. But once this trend line is crossed, all right, then I would look for an entry. But remember, when the trend line is crossed, okay, you'll see a nice big green candle. Next day, remember, there's a daily chart. Each candle represents 1 day of trading. Next day, you'll have a red candle coming down. And the following day, on the third day, you'll have a green candle going up. That's where I would enter. Now, will it be always like that? Green candle going up, breaking through, red candle coming down, green candle up? Not always, but that is a very good indicator. Now, if there's a green candle pushing through on 1 day, second day, another green candle moving up, yes, then I would say, well, the trend is confirmed and I would enter. Okay, next one I'm looking at is KEI. Again, something very similar. Look at this. All right, the price got rejected from the all-time high. Again, got pushed down. It never really made it up to that all-time high again, got pushed down. And so here at the 200, what is happening here? Okay, I'm hoping that it's bouncing off the 200, but there's no confirmation, right? There's no confirmation here, so I'm waiting. Monday, Tuesday, I want to see what happens. Will it bounce off the 200? Now, if it bounces off the 200, I would look to enter. And then let's say, I entered somewhere on here. That's about 25, 26% profit right there, okay? Will it take a month or 2 months or 3 months to get there? Something like that, and but that's a good possibility. Now, what I do is at the end of the month, I'll sell and get out, okay? If it's profitable. Now, if it's not profitable and it gets pushed down, I'll hold for an extra month. Sometimes I may hold for 2 or 3 months, which is fine. The last one I'm going to look at is M&M, okay? Mahindra and Mahindra. Look what's happening. Now, this was all of these were well-moving, stocks in the bullish, market right there was moving up. But I've exited. I've taken profits on these. I've exited already. Now, I want you to notice this line right here, this dotted line. Resistance, 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 multiple areas of resistance. Now, the resistance was crossed, okay, and then that went up about 7% to the all-time high. Again, pushed down. Look at that. It couldn't keep up. Now, what will happen after this? I don't know, right? We don't know for sure. But I'm noticing this area of support and resistance right here. See this new line that I drew? Okay, here there was resistance here. There's support there, support there, support there. So what's going to happen? Okay, well, there's several possibilities. The price could come down to this support level and bounce back up, or the price could come to this 200 period moving average and bounce back up. Or by the time this comes down here, the 200 will also come up. And both of these converge together to give me a good reason to enter the trade. And when I enter the trade with a good reason like that, I would say, well, that's about 70 to 80% chance that it's going to move up. That's a high probability trade. I would want to enter and then hold it till the all-time high. All right, that's what I'm looking at. Okay, so I hope all of you are following these things that I'm sharing with you. And what I want to tell you is those of you who are starting brand new with the trading, I would recommend that you stick to this path, stick to this pattern, one pattern, okay? Not that this one, my pattern is the best or this is the only way. No, no, no. You need to find one pattern, stick to it, and repeat it all the time, again and again and again. Now, what do you do with the money you have? I would say if you're new, start with a certain amount of money, maybe 3,000 rupees or something like that. You know, those people in the US, I would recommend $300 to $600. And then what you do is you split up your capital into three or four. Okay, you split it up into three or four companies, and then you buy that many, and you hold and you wait. Okay, so this is a waiting game, and then you continue doing this for about 3 or 4 months until you get used to the whole process of doing this. Okay, until you get used to the whole process of doing this, you keep on doing it again and again for 2 or 3 or 4 months. And once you're familiar with the using the app, using your trading brokerage app, trading view. Once you're used to all of this, and you begin to see some profits, and you begin to feel comfortable with all of this, then what happens is, yeah, after that you can begin to add funds. Now, if you have lots of funds available, please do not dump all of that into your trading account. I recommend you add incrementally on a monthly basis. Okay, now if you're in India, I would say add 100, 200, 300, something like that, or add 10% of your income. All right, that's the best way. Add 10% of your income each month. You trade for a month, and then you add again. Those of you in the US, I would say, well, add maybe 100, 200, 500 a month, something like that, or 1,000 a month, depending on your financial capability. Okay, but whatever you do, trade only 3 or 4 companies at this point in your beginning stages. Once you are experienced 1 or 2 years, then I would say maybe go up to 10 or something like that. I have about 10 holdings, and some of them, I told you about the 80% probability, right? 70 to 80%. Well, that means there's a 20 to 30% probability that it will go down. And so those in the 20-30 probability have gone down, and they're all in the red. And I'm not afraid. I'm just holding on to it because these are stocks that are well trending. And I know that sometimes I may have to hold on an extra 1 month or 2 months. That's fine. It'll come back again, and I'm willing to wait. And the ones that do make a profit, okay, like let's say for example, this bounced off of this area here, and I take a profit from here. See, look at that, the 25% right there, and all the way to this point right here. That's over 40% right here, just to that level. All right, to that level of resistance, that's over 40% right there. Look at that. So let's say that I have about 5 or 6 stocks that I'm holding, 5 or 6 holdings in my portfolio. Well, 1 or 2 might be in the red, going down like this, but then there might be 2 or 3 that are moving up like this, and sometimes I end up with 10%, 20%, 30% profit just in 1 month, and that will make up for the losses in the other one. But now remember, I'm not using stop losses, and I'm holding. I'm willing to wait longer. Okay, and you might say, well, what is your strategy for protection? How are you protecting yourself? Well, I'm protecting myself by selecting only stocks that have a good history of trending on the weekly, and the daily. Here's a monthly, here's a weekly, now the daily chart. I'm looking for well trending stocks in the monthly, weekly, and daily chart. And monthly, if I'm looking at the 20 period over the 200 period moving average, that means that's about 15 to 16 years of history. And if it's been moving up that long, that means that it's a good company. All right. I'm not looking at all the fundamentals of the company, but that means they're doing something right. Okay. And on the weekly chart and the daily chart, it's moving well. It's good. Now, on the daily chart, you get some fluctuation like this periodically, and that's fine because there are situations in the market, there are situations in the in the society that you cannot predict. Now, I want to share something about this one company, SRF, and then I will close. I think it's been, I don't know how much time it's been. Let's see. But anyway, I want you to look at this SRF. This is a very unique stock that I selected. Look at this. Do you see what's happening here? Swinging up and down, up and down, up and down. Look at that. It It crossed this level here, and then up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, again and again and again. So now what am I doing? I'm watching. First of all, I'm watching this support line right here. Support, support. See, would not allow it to go down. Support again. See, support. But along with the support, I drew a trend line. Okay, and do you see this right there? That's a little picture of a little alarm clock. Okay, so I can set an alert on this trend line. Okay, just all you do is click on the trend line. You see this alarm clock picture? Yeah. So you select and you can set set that. And so I'm waiting. Two things I'm looking for. One, I'm looking for this line of support to act as support and push the price up. And I'm also waiting for this this trend line where it's been like this trend line has been a resistance, and I'm waiting for this resistance across. Once it crosses with a nice strong green candle, I will not enter right there. I'll wait again and see if the next day it gives a red candle. It often does. And the third day, a green candle going up. Okay, that would be a nice, perfect entry. And then I would look for about 24, 25% right there. Okay, and this seems to be a stock that for a long time has been just swinging up and down, up and down. Okay, so I'm looking to take advantage of that. Now, what will I do? Will I wait all the way till the 24%? No, 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 no. What I will do is I will enter, and then at this level right here at about 17%, I'll take off about maybe 3/4 of it. Okay, and then let the other 25%, I'll leave it there and let it go up. See, or go down, and then if if it does reverse down again, that means it's a smaller amount that I'm just leaving. Okay, all right. Hope it has been helpful for you, and let me know in the comments what you think about all of this, and if you have any questions, let me know, and that's it. Have a great day. Staircase strategy, swing trading. It's something that I think will be beneficial to you. And if you stick with it, you can literally replace